The first film bringing to the fore both the multitude of traumas that life can have inflicted to me. I have so many similarities with the character that I'm almost afraid of it. I know that part of my capsizing emotions come directly from all of this. Talks about the same abuse and trauma in details I had, the same thing about therapy, thing about being beat up, not as a clown but as a mascot, fireman dog, being bullied and beaten up in high school, the way people judged me, society treated me, how I got treated when I snapped and punched my abusers. Here in Montreal, I am in poor health and very poor. For therapy there is too long a waiting list in the free services and they cut the services, like Arthur. Here is why, therefore, to cosplay and create so much in connection with this film, frees me. It's therapeutic. It is a safe filter to free me from my emotions. I use the characters as the therapy I do not have. When emotions block or paralyze you, when you've kept strong and firm in life's hardest situations, and suddenly you can't cope any longer and you break. That's when you get help processing these experiences and emotions through catharsis and its subsequent analysis. Catharsis can take place during the course of therapy, but it can also occur during other moments as well. What I do is a lot like what they do in therapy with psychodrama. Psychodrama, this type of therapy involves acting out difficult events from the past. By doing so, people are sometimes able to reassess and let go of the pain from these events. A string of unfortunate events or a traumatic experience can cause a feeling of turmoil that builds and builds. Eventually, you may reach a point where you feel like there's so much emotion bottled up inside that you become overwhelmed and feel you're about to explode. When that happens, catharsis psychology can be extremely helpful. The body remembers the trauma that the mind does not. Psychodrama provides a space for the body to speak, for somatic memory to become conscious, and for the mind to connect and process what the body is experiencing. I highlights the emotion that emerges from my body through impersonating Joker by participating in the scenic representation of his life world, of interpersonal or intrapsychic conflicts, of fantasies and imaginations. The role player can make new experiences with strong emotional involvement. The idea is that through the scenic action new energies can be gathered to cope with difficult situations. Through rituals, transitions into a new phase of life are addressed with the goal of gaining courage and support to effectively enter a new phase of life.
If I wonder what the best day of the year 2021 for me, no doubt it was meeting Joaquin Phoenix. But for me, it's not a meeting, it's more like an achievement, a journey. I don't even know how to describe it. This is not a fan meeting her idol. It's something so deep and personal and emotional to me. 2021 might have been one of the worst years of my life. It was also one of the best, because I started using this, something I discovered by myself for myself, and that I share with others. It helped me gain confidence within myself.
Here is results from the research. Learning to use roleplay to treat post-traumatic stress disorder. We must consider the research on memories stored both in mind and body. For many clients with PTSD, memory problems and cognitive distortions are part of the clinical presentation. Dissociation is a process whereby certain mental functions such as emotional and factual memory operate in a compartmentalized or automatic way, usually outside the sphere of conscious awareness or memory recall. Neurobiological research into post-traumatic stress disorder has shown that dissociated content rooted in the unconscious mind and stored in the right brain cannot be easily accessed through traditional talk therapy. Although operating unconsciously, repressed mind-body memories drive attitudes, actions and reactions. Psychological treatment of PTSD requires reintegrating dissociated experiences into conscious awareness, so that clients may regain control over their reactions to life events. Roleplay is a potent modality for healing psychic wounds from a terrifying, life-threatening trauma. What I do is not only about trauma but also something useful about creating what it feels like to experience pleasure, enjoyment, focus, power, and effectiveness through stories I also create with Joker. I go beyond the movie and evolve at the same time as this fictional character. I do a lot of research about how to integrate specific tools of psychology to make sure I do not re-traumatize myself, to learn grounding, self-compassion, be kinder to myself and learn how to manage when I do something more traumatizing and when I just have fun with the character. I learn how to live with myself more every day. It involves things deeper than trauma, That helps me affirming myself for the first time. Reframing. Another strategy for getting bad events into perspective is to re-evaluate them as disappointing, concerning, or uncomfortable rather than as awful or unbearable. Through roleplay, a variation of reframing is to help the client see that even negative events almost always have a positive side to them. The voice of these audio were brought to you by free text-to-speech programs online.